In the early 2000s, I lost my mom and dad, and my husband was killed in a car accident, and then I lost my son. I lost to murder. And it was after him serving in Iraq. And so it was really a hard thing. I went to counseling. I really thought I had gotten that wholeness that I needed, but still there was something that was missing. And 9 years and 3 months later, my youngest son was living in Florida, and I got that same call that he had been murdered. I had tried so hard to be faithful and to live that life that I felt God wanted me to live, and I was going through this again. I was literally going through it again. And I could not understand why. Both of my sons were at home. They weren't out in the streets. They weren't in the club. My youngest son, he was babysitting or whatever for a young lady. My oldest son was helping out this girl who had been having a problem with a boyfriend. And there were so many sleepless nights, and there were so many times that I just didn't want to be. There was time after Carlton died that, I can remember one particular time I was sitting at the gas station, and the burden was so heavy. The burden was so heavy. And there was a Big Mac truck that was coming. And I just knew if I just hit the gas right now, then it all would be over. I feel it was the enemy who was saying, how could you believe now? How could you believe now? And it was a fight. I was still lost. I was still hurting. I just wasn't healing. And I needed help. I was on my laptop and I said, you know what? I need to get somebody else. I need more counseling. I need to get somebody else. And I was just scrolling through, and I wanted to get somebody that was like out of the area. I live in Orangeburg now, so I put in Google. And I just put Christian counseling. And I just scrolled through, and I found two names. I found one, I can't remember the name now, but it was in Somerville, and Lowcountry Biblical Counseling. I thought, and I saw biblical counseling. I figured, well, and the first one I called, I never really got a response to, but then I got a response to this. So we made the appointment, and I came in, and I met Miss Sherry. When I explained to her my situation, every explanation and everything that I needed to help me was Bible-based. So many times I realize in Christian counseling, we go back to the secular world, and we go back to, secular things that they say that you go through this, you do that, or whatever. And not saying that is not right, not saying that is not true, but for what I needed a biblical base for everything that I was going through. She walks in with the Bible and she opens it on her lap. And I get scriptures. And one thing she told me the first class, that I have to realize that God is a sovereign God. And I had to really go look the word up. I had to think about it. I had to pray around it. And she's so right. And I realized that I can walk with my head up. And there's a reason for everything that has happened. And I may not ever know why, but I know a God that does. I'm going to trust him till the end. Yeah. I'm going to do it to the end. I really feel that he was in control of my computer when I found Lowcountry Biblical Counseling. Through the Word of God, there's hope. Everything that we need to live this life is based on the Word of God.